states of consciousness. In the study of meditation, this topic is very, very important. This is the base of the science of meditation. States of consciousness, Jagrat, Swapna, Sushupti, Turiya, Thuryatheetha. These are the different states of consciousness. Jagrat, this is waking state. Waking state. Swapna, dreaming state. Sushupti, slumber, sleeping state, deep sleep, sleeping. Sushupti is sleep devoid of dreams. Turiya, meditative state. Thuryatheetha, state of integration, Samadhi. Integration. Superconscious integration. Jagrat is waking state, Swapna is dreaming state, Sushupti sleep devoid of dreams, slumber, without dreams. Then Turiya, meditative state, and Thuryatheetha is more than Turiya, which is Samadhi. Samadhi state, called superconscious integration, state of superconscious integration. Clear? Jagrat is waking state, Swapna is dreaming state, Sushupti is sleep devoid of dreams, slumber. Turiya, meditative state, and Thuryatheetha, Samadhi, superconscious integration. എടുത്ത് കേട്ടോ പ്രദീപ തീർന്നോ അതാണ് ജാഗ്രത് ജാഗ്രത് Jagrat says you are awake. This is a normal waking state. When you are awake, all your body is alert, sense organs are alert, senses are alert, analytical process is on, discriminative intelligence is operating and trying to find right and wrong, good and bad, that's also working. Then identification is happening, making concepts with these ideas, identifying with the concepts as your concept. All the functions are happening during Jagrat state. That is the state where you have least rust. Very little rust, because all the systems, including body and mind and all the subtle aspects of the mind, are working. So, we can see sense as body alert, senses, sense organs, They are alert. Senses, alert. Analytical mind, manas. So that process is on during waking state because you are getting information. You are always taking input, then the analysis is on. So that is on. Then intellect is operating. Buddhi, that is also active. Ego is alert. Ahankaram, alert. The identification process is on. Chit, on. Everything is alert. So in this state we have very, very little rest. And then you continue it for maybe 18 hours, 19 hours like this. So it is actually you're really taxing your whole system for the purpose of living. And then after some time, maybe 18, 20 hours you have really overexerted, then you cannot do this. So what happens at that time? What are the senses? Senses, hearing, ear. What is the vision? Eyes. Then touch, sense of touch. Skin. Then taste. Tongue. Nose. Taste. Smell. Nose. These are the organs through which we are taking information. Ear, hearing, eyes, vision, skin, touch, tongue, taste, and nose, smell. Through all the 5 doors are kept open and go on taking information, letting information get inside. And when these inputs are there, a lot of things are you wanted to analyze and make. So the analytical part, mind, manas is intensely operating on it to find out something. So the work of the mind is hooking input from the memory. Compare, continuously comparing and looking similarities to find whether this is okay or not. But the analysis is on. On the analyzed product, intellect comes and play and then it discriminates. It says it is good, bad, right, wrong, that's all. And then you synthesize the knowledge. When the knowledge is formulated, then the other idea that whether my knowledge goes with others. And then you create concepts or ideas or beliefs or whatever, and then you go accordingly. Alongside with this program, there happens a lot of emotions. It's a very deeper thing. You see something as pleasant flower, you feel joy. You see a small animal is run over by something, you feel sad. So it goes on stimulating all the subtle functions of the mind. One by one, it can happen as you are exposing yourself to the outside world. So everything is alert. Emotions are also going on. After a time, it becomes impossible. So what happens? The body starts to become immobile. You are laying on the bed or sitting on a chair. Body is not moving anymore. So body starts to rest. When the body starts to rest, you enter from the Jagrat state to the deeper state, which is the dreaming state or sleeping state. You enter into sleep. As you enter into the sleep, the rest in your system increases. At a certain level of the increased rest, you fall almost like unconscious. and no more input is coming inside the system. Your eyes shut down, ears shut down, skin shut down, tongue shut down, nose shut down. The incoming doors are all closed. So these sensations cannot function without the support of this. So you don't know anything about the world. You get into a state of ignorance. You get into a state of sheer ignorance because you don't know anything. And like unconscious, you are put off, and then the energy that you have really expended needs to be, and the fatigue that happened as a result of draining your energy needs to be put back into a normal condition. So that process starts. No waste now, all the waste are shut down, and then the normal rejuvenating process takes place while you sleep. So by like that you stay there maybe 8 hours, 10 hours. Children, they sleep maybe 16 hours, and then you get recuperate your energy levels. You get back. And in this area, what happens is you are not aware of anything. You get into a state which is called ignorance. So that is the only way. If your botham is there, no recharging is possible. Because it goes on intervening for analysis, synthesis, making judgments and all. So when that is put down, then recharging is possible. So that is put down, all these are cut down, then the result is ignorance. But the body functions will be made as it was designed, without your intervention. If you intervene, it will do for you, it will work for you. As you are not working, you are intervening, it will take over its own designed function, and you will be recharged. This state is called alert state of waking state. You are very, very alert. That is the time you really synthesize something. So your life experience is transformed slowly into knowledge in this process. Then usually we stop the process. You remain as the storehouse of some knowledge. And this is big work. Like 18-20 hours you work and you synthesize your knowledge. So knowledge formulation is the major program. At the end, that is what is happening. It's a major program. You are living your life and you are synthesizing something and you are understanding in some ways. And then you cannot do, you shut down. So when you start to shut down, like laying down immobile for a little time, you're getting rest, then all these sense organs are put down, so no sensations comes. Now already received information out there in the memory boxes. So then you are going to leave this Jagrat state. Then you are entering into state of sleep. So you are slipping from there to dream state. For dream state, you need to sleep. You need to put off everything. So everything is shut down. You are entering into a sleepy state. And when you are sleeping, what happens? You have left the conscious level of your mind. You have a conscious awareness and that is put off. And then that means you are coming to a deeper level where the imprint of all the experiences are stored. Everything that we are seeing, feeling, understanding is retained in the memory cells. So as you are giving some kind of relaxation, deeper relaxation, you cannot stay in the waking state. So you are slowly coming down to the sleeping state. At a certain point, certain level of rest that comes to you from the sleeping state, you trigger the dream state, because you are coming like this is, suppose this is the conscious mind, and this is the subconscious realm of the mind, subconscious, and this is the unconscious part, unconscious. This is the superconscious. This is where you were, and now you are getting rest. When you are getting more and more rest, you started to go down from the conscious level to the subconscious realms. In the subconscious realm, there are lot of memories. Millions of memories are there. Like pigeonholes, all the memories are classified and stored. Like a big library is well classified. Otherwise, when you wanted to get something, you get lost in the memory, millions of memories. So, and in the yogic system, what we consider is the cataloging system is based on the elements. When the earth element is on, all the things that are happening will be stored in a particular box or in a particular part of the library. It's the earth element dominant area, everything is here. So as your rest is coming down into some certain areas, maybe for example, it's a memory of something very beautiful that has happened in your life, of which you have an attachment, some beautiful sensations that you got into during the dream, maybe about some people or maybe about some experiences. And as your level of rest is coming down to the dreamy level, and you are getting into the memory, and the memory which is here gets stimulant, and then it slowly starts to come up like a big bubble into the conscious mind. The memory is here, but it gets stimulant, and your conscious level, you drop the conscious level, you get into the subconscious. In the subconscious, memories are stored. From the memory, a thought gets triggered, and it pops up like a big bubble, and it comes into the mind, in your awareness. And this is a dream. Partially you are conscious, partially you are sleeping. You are not unconscious. When you are coming here, you will not get into any dream. But here, partially you are conscious. So when this dream is surfacing, like that beautiful experience, it starts to bubble and it comes as a dream in in your mind. And then together with that, the idea which got triggered in your dream is now growing. And then it adds many inputs into it, and the dream is on its way. As if you are experiencing, because you are not there, you are here. Here you are already with the dream, that you started to feel that you are actually doing these things. In every dream, we are a participant of the dream. At the same time, you are the creator of the dream. You are the participant and the creator of the dream. It continues maybe for some time. On the way, the dream is growing, and you go on modifying the dream also. This is a deeper work which is happening. You go on modifying the way you want it. It is a way of fulfillment. In the daytime, we cannot do it. Maybe situations are not okay. So no dream is coming. You cannot fulfill it. So in the sleepy state, you get there and you create that, and you create an idea of that in the form of a drama, like a vision. And that is the dream that you start to create and understand, experience, enjoy. And by way of dreaming, you also fulfill certain things. But when you are leaving the dreamy state, certainly when you come back into the conscious level, you understand that nothing has happened. I had a dream. But the dream leads you to understand what is the active content in your consciousness. That is the psychoanalysis. In the dream, the dream gives you a possibility to see what is the active content of your memory. Unfulfilled content or unsatisfied content. Longings are there. There is no way to fructify it. So it shows that there is a big longing to make it happen. That means there is a bond that you established with that group of memories. Some incidents which was the root of this. And you couldn't fulfill it, and it is remaining there. And so the only way to fulfill maybe at that time is to go on recollecting it and going into it. So you get into a dream. The dream is created by the input which is coming from the memory together with the imagination of the dreamer. Ideas and imaginations of the dreamer. And he modifies, he creates, and he presents. And sometimes we get satisfied in the dream, or sometimes some break of conscience or conflict, or all things as we live our life in the daytime happens there. Then after a time, what happens? You are going. Suppose it is a nightmare, a strong dream, like somebody is chasing you. Because the rudimentary cause of that may be something that happened in the past, some fear that we are holding on, that you create in the form of a dream. And now, when the nightmare is powerful nightmare, like somebody is chasing and you cannot escape, and you come to the last moment, you are going to be caught by the other one, no way, you wake up. Now you escaped. And now everything goes back, but the feeling is that palpitation is there, breath is already altered, and your metabolism is completely changed. When you are getting up out of the dream, you feel all these things, like palpitation and everything, and then slowly it settles. But usually what happens, we will not see what is happening. We take it as a dream, but we don't take it as the surfacing of a content of which you have established a bond. Then some people say that, I have seen a beautiful dream, so I got the blessing of Lotus, Saraswati, in my dream. Very happy. And when the Dracula is chasing, maybe I'm cursed by something, there is some problem. But deeper inside we know. Very deep inside, from where it's coming we know. But as it is so much suppressed, we may not be able to actually pinpoint what is the reason from where it is coming. But it goes on showing. But if you cannot really understand that, after some time it will not show. The dream is not coming. Or it won't come when you understand it. In either way, it won't come. When you understand it, it is gone. But when you have not understood it, but you don't want to see it, you go on pushing it down further. So it goes into the very depth of the subconscious mind. It's a dangerous thing because it is going towards the unconscious, which is taking care of the physiological functions. So you are pushing, like a bomb, you are pushing it down, 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 and it is pushed down to the unconscious. That means your metabolism or the control mechanism is actually going to be impaired because of the pressure that is going down. So it all alters the physiology. If it so happens, it is actually a dangerous thing. That is what the suppression is doing. And there are, in other circumstances, what we do is, we don't suppress. When it comes, you sidetrack. For sidetracking, you modify your dream. It's a tendency normally we do in the daytime. If a person who is very ugly, according to you, and the person is coming maybe to quarrel, you anticipate that he is coming to quarrel with you. And then you don't need to confront with the person, so you sidetrack, you go away. But the situation is there. The fear is there, the problem is there, but you are not ready to address it. So likewise, when a dream is popping up, also we don't take care of it. We sidetrack it or try to suppress it, but never address it. And there are methods in modern psychology, during the time of Freud and colleagues, they have made it. They have really decoded, if you see this, what would be the meaning of it, all those things they have studied and they made accordingly, according to their science. But in spirituality, we are not doing like this. We don't take any support from anybody. You take the support from your master and then you go on exploring by yourself with a little confidence that you get by the directions of your master. Then you are deciding to actually take this dive deep into the ocean of your mind. Then you slowly dive down. Maybe you reach somewhere here and then you wake up. Next day you try, and finally you can come into the subconscious areas where the memories are there. There you meet the memory without adding your imagination to remold it into a different story format. When you create the story, in the dream itself you create the story, and after the dream, when you are narrating the story, also you modify the story. As we are doing this process, we will not come to the core of the problem, because you have already altered it in a story format. So that is why, if you wanted to cure it, you cannot do this. You are really going to confront. You decide and then you jump. You are going down, and then when you are coming here, you see the memory as it is, like a vision. Not altering the vision. Now in the dream, it gets altered. But now consciously you are jumping down into this area and you confront the memory, and the memory starts to surface, not as dream, but as memory itself. And then once you are seeing that, you get used to it and you are not going to suppress it, because you know this is what happened to me. Now you create a story around it, and that's as it is coming back, it's really very scary, and so because you don't want to confront with it. But spiritually speaking, what we are doing is we are really taking the readiness, support, and then you dive down and you go into the memory and you see what is active content which is there. That is the spiritual work which one is doing in his exploration. So suppose if it is not there and you are still further pushing it down, it goes into the unconscious. And it pressures the unconscious, that is the control mechanism of your metabolism. Thereby something can happen, because you are altering the normal function. And then it can really become a big stress and big problem. And the counterpart of stress is fatigue actually. So the fatigue comes after that suppression, you feel very, very tired. Because that indicates that the body function was not proper and you couldn't relieve the stress by getting into deeper slumber. So it's not working. And sometimes when you are there, not this story, another story is possible. That is, you are just getting used to it and you are going down further. You are getting the ability to go down and crossing the unconscious realms with your conscious mind. So whatever is there in the unconscious, you start to feel like sensations. All these internal mechanisms you see, like vibration, sensations, tickling movements. You see a lot of things, sounds, and then you go little further down and you enter into the superconscious state, where actually there is no time, there is no space, there is cause, no effect, nothing, just a plain stillness. You get into the plain stillness and you remain there, maybe for some little time. And here you get the highest, deepest quality rest. And when you are bringing this calmness up into the waking, you are slowly bringing into the waking state. You remain there in like a meditation there, then you are waking up, you are getting back into the conscious level. This is the conscious level you're getting back. When you are getting in the conscious level, this feeling which you have experienced there, you bring it along with you in your awareness and you get into this realm. So you are transmitting the absolute peace which is there as an awareness in your conscious mind. So after a few months of practice, you know how to get there, relax there, get back, bring this calmness into the whole realm of your activity. Jagrat state or Swapna state, everywhere you bring it. Thereby what happens on the other way, you can see it, that the conscious mind expands to the superconscious. You're sleeping with awareness. You're not dreaming or sleeping. Your awareness is on, but you're resting. Sleeping with awareness or resting with awareness is meditation. This is what is called meditation. So meditation expands your awareness from the conscious level to the superconscious level. And when that is on, you become absolutely peaceful, and the peace experience that comes to you slowly will transcend all the levels of your existence. And that means you become very peaceful in daytime, in sleep, in dream, and also in your meditation. This is the possibility which the meditators or masters of meditation proposed. And so now we have seen the dream state, which is happening here in this area. And then when you are in the unconscious realms, what will happen? You have no idea. You have no memory active. You have no idea about the past. You have nothing. No planning, no programming, no memory, nothing. This is a slumber state we get into every night. And it recharges your system. So, dreaming state, Jagrat, Swapna, Sushupti. Sushupti is where you are somewhere in this region. Slumber. You're in deep rest, you recharge. And that is Sushupti. Then Turiya. In Turiya state, what happens? Your expansion of awareness is going deep into the superconscious, periphery of the superconscious realm. And there is actually nothing. There is no recording. You cross the recording area, memory area, and you are going into the deep depth. And there is no imprints, there is nothing. Thereby, there is no difficulty for you to stay there and meditate. There will be no disturbance. You get into the meditative state, which is the Turiya. And then as you remain in the Turiya state, your awareness deepens, and then finally it occupies the deepest part, which is the superconscious realm, where you are beyond the time, no awareness of time, space, cause and effect. I cannot say no awareness, but it's not intervening with your program. No space, no time, no cause, no effect, nothing is coming and intervening you. And thereby, your mind cannot exist as a separate entity. Your mind is going to dissolve for the time being. So there will be no mind, but you are resting here. And this is called superconscious integration. You are beyond time, space, cause, effect, there is no disturbance, nothing. Your mind has expanded to the level. Daily you are doing this, you get that. This is the effect of meditation. Then a lot of other things happens. Transformation happens in the body functions, in the physiological level, in the psychological level, and also spiritually. It does a lot of things. So, Swapna, like Jagrat is a state where your sense organs are active. We have seen sensations. Jagrat is sense organs, senses, analytical mind, discriminative mind, everything is working there. Jagrat. Then dream state, sense organs put off, not function. You are not taking any input. All sense organs are put, but sensations are there. The senses the pictures that is already there, sensations are there in dream state. And with that sensation, your imagination play around and creates some visions. That is the dream. So senses are operating there. That's why in dream we feel pain, anxiety, fear, everything you feel. So sensations are active. Senses are active, but sense organs put off. Then the analytical mind is there, manas is there, buddhi is there. All these are active. Senses, manas, buddhi, identification, everything is active. And then when you come to Sushupti, what happens? Deep slumber. In slumber, no sense organs, no. Senses, no senses working, nothing. So as there is no sensation, what happens? Mind, manas, no, not working. So buddhi has nothing to do, buddhi is not working. Identification, that is ego and chit, not working. Chit, identified self, it's also not working. This is the state where we are put in the slumber to recharge ourselves. All the waste are cut down, and then we are really recuperating our lost energy during daytime, which you acquired during daytime. And then when you are remaining there, what happens? As the senses are put off, you lose the awareness completely. If the senses are there, the awareness will be there. So you are training yourself in a way how not to fall asleep, but get the amount of rest that you get from slumber. That's a strange combination. That is rest plus awareness. This is what makes you meditate. This is the meditative state. Restful alertness is meditation. Restful alertness is meditation. This is meditation. Restful alertness is meditation. You enter into meditation. And when you remain in meditation, what happens? There are few things in meditation. The subject, object, subject, object, and process. These are the three states in your in whatever you are doing. When you are interacting with something, this is there. You are the subject. This is the object of meditation. You are meditating. Subject is you. You are meditating. That is the process of meditation is going on. Meditation. Process of meditation is going on. And then you are meditating upon an object. The object can be God or whatever you like. Mantra, God or idea or your breath or your spine or whatever. So, in meditation there are three things, which is the subject, object and the process. The process connects you with the object. So there is an object. So suppose this is the object or Lord Ganesh is the object. You are meditating upon Lord Ganesh. Continuously you are focusing, relaxed focusing. Otherwise you get tired, you will sleep. Now you are relaxed and focusing. You are entering into meditation. Finally, after some time, you are not thinking about yourself. Only Ganesh is there in your mind. Or the idol which you take or the mantra that you take, whatever tool that you have taken for meditation is the only reality there. All the rest of the things are stopped. So you are not thinking about yourself and you are only entertaining that tool of meditation. And then after some time you forget the process also. Before when you sit you feel that I am meditating. Now you are not thinking that you are meditating, but the Ganesh is there or the object of meditation is there. That means after some time when you are really relaxing, you become the object in the sense that nothing other than the object is there in your mind. What is there in your mind is you at the time. So you become the object of meditation. This is called integration. You become the object. You plus object, process becomes one. It becomes one. It's not three things. Your mind will be fully occupied by the object and you are the object now. When you become the object, all the heaviness that you were holding about you to keep you as a separate entity is not working at all. Everything is gone. So the object and you are the only reality, and you know that it is also working something, and then finally as your mind is fully occupied by that, you become the object. This is called integration, which is Turiya. It's a deeper aspect of Turiya, integration. And when you start to integrate, you get into a state called Thuryatheetha. Thuryatheetha state is you integrated with the object. Why are you integrating with the object? You are integrating with the object to know the object. This is the difference between normal knowing and knowing by integrating. Normal knowing is you read, you get as much information as possible and you become one. And in meditation, this is not the scheme. In meditation, you are becoming that and you start to feel this. No synthesis, no analysis, no judgment, nothing. You start to feel what is presented before you. Because no other functioning is happening in your brain, in your mind. You are not thinking, you are not programming, you are not expecting, you are not projecting your mind, nothing. You become the object. And when you remain as you, the process and the object together as one unit, you start to feel the object. This is the spiritual experience. Like some people feel that Goddess or Lord Ganesh is there in front of you. This hallucinatory state that you project. But many people believe that it is Lord who is appearing. In either way, it's okay. What was it?
Once we reach in that state, how do we come out to the normal?
Yeah. And actually, when you are there, that other state is not existing. But later, after some time, you start to feel that I will be trapped there. Because as we have the attachment with our pleasures, body, comforts, all those things, that idea is there in the mind, and slowly your attention shifting from the focus to another, thinking about the body or some sensations outside, you slowly get back. And sometimes suddenly some coconut is falling on the roof like Tagaram. Then you get really panic, crisis. Maybe you jump out, you get terrible shock. And so that is why you need to meditate in a conducive atmosphere where there will be no disturbance when you are getting out of it. Otherwise, the panic just struck you. Strong strike. And so naturally you will come out. If you start to worry, you get into panic because there is nothing to worry there. Naturally, as we went there, we will come back. Or if some people, they really have this problem, they have to suggest, oh, I wanted to meditate 1 hour. After 1 hour, I have to get up. That suggestion, when it is there, after 1 hour, your hypnotized state will go and you come out. But that is a hindrance that you cannot go further. So no suggestion, nothing is recommended. You just go there. As you went there, everything is gone. You are in infinite state, and then naturally you will get back. You don't need to worry about it. Nothing will happen. Maybe sometimes you may stay the whole day, maybe 2-3 days, and then you come out. You will not have any hunger, thirst, nothing. So when you get back into the normal world, you will have a completely different. Basically, when you look anything, you see halo around everything. You are so relaxed that you start to see the light in everything. Very relaxed, very calm, and there will be joy. This is called Thuryatheetha. That means more than Turiya, superconscious integration. You get integrated with the deepest possible level of emptiness, the stillness which is within you. This is the purpose of meditation. So we have seen the different states of consciousness: Jagrat, Swapna, Sushupti, Turiya, meditative state, and Thuryatheetha is the state of integration. So you will be able to go to the maximum level which you can get, and there still the rudiment of the mind will be there. Some content will be active, and that content will bring you back to normal, so-called normal state. And if that, by working for a long time, and this content which is there, the seed which was there, that seed dries out by itself, that you don't have to come back for an action. And then the body slowly disintegrates. And this is called Mahasamadhi, superconscious integration. There are different states of superconscious integration which Sulochana, Dr. Sulochana will talk to you during the Patanjali Yoga Sutra.